Study guide for the Explorers and Wars test. You have to be able to match these people with what they did. So let's start the first one. Jean Nicolet. He looked for Northwest Passage, waterway from Europe to China, landed in Green Bay. He looked for the Northwest Passage, landed in Green Bay. Pierre Radisson and Sire des Grossier, that's a big one. These two people came to trade furs with the Indians. They started the Hudson Bay Co. Came to trade furs with the Indians, started the Hudson Bay Co. Father Claude Jean Allouez. He was a missionary who spoke at least 10 different languages, contacted over 100,000 Indians. A missionary who spoke at least 10 different languages and contacted over 100,000 Indians. Father Marquette and Juliette traveled across Wisconsin looking for the Mississippi River. They traveled across Wisconsin looking for the Mississippi River. Then you have Robert de La Salle. He explored Wisconsin on the coast of Lake Michigan. Explored Wisconsin on the coast of Lake Michigan. Now this one, you're going to have these words, and you have to be able to fill them into these charts on your test. So there were these wars. There was the White Squatters and Winnebago War of 1827. There was the French and Indian Wars. There was the Black Hawks War, and then there was the War of 1812. These were the people groups: Indians, Americans, French, and English were the Americans. Now here's the war, and here's who had control. So the French and Indian Wars, the English controlled it. The War of 1812, Americans. White Squatters and Winnebago War of 1827, Americans. Black Hawks War, Americans. You'll have to fill this chart out with this information on the test. Know what each people group wanted. The Indians didn't want anyone to control the land. The Indians didn't want anyone to control the land. The French wanted furs, and the English wanted land. You'll have a chart that you have to fill out. You have the Europeans and the Indians, and this was their style of fighting, the way that they would fight. The European organized rows, and the Europeans shot right at each other. The Indians surprise attacked. So they would come out of nowhere, surprise attacked. And they hid behind trees when they wanted to start to fight people. Then you're going to have to be able to explain the good and the bad things for the Indian and white settlers after the Europeans came and the wars. So here's the Indians and here's the white settlers. Here's the good: iron pots, cloth, guns. Here's the bad: death from the war, and they lost land. The white settlers, good: land, money. Bad: left homeland and death from war. Watch this video over and over until you memorize it. You should have at least watched this video 10 times before the test.